summer still.
He's right
I'm dressed
there
for the summer.
with Dan. We ready? Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Oh, we need May Lake, of course. Now, if she has an issue,
She'll wonder.
I was going to say if she has an issue while we're up here.
Yeah. We'll take care of it.
Welcome, everyone. First, I would like to welcome Mayor Craig Greenberg from our sister city to the west. Oh, well, we've got him to the left and the right. It's wonderful to have you here. And I'd like to introduce our council members who are here. We have Vice Mayor Dan Wu, Councilmember James Brown. Just wave your hand when I shout out your name. Councilmember Chuck Ellinger, Councilmember Shayla Lynch, Councilmember Hannah Legree, Councilmember Liz Sheehan, Councilmember Denise Gray, Councilmember Preston Worley, Councilmember Fred Brown, Councilmember Whitney Baxter, Councilmember Dave Savigny, Councilmember Jennifer Reynolds, and Councilmember Kathy Ploman. And we are also delighted to have so many visitors from our sister city to the west, Louisville. I welcome all of you here today. I want to welcome Kentucky Secretary of Transportation and former Mayor Jim Gray, University of Kentucky photography professor James Robert Southard. Where'd you go? There you are. Rob to his friends, and former council member Bill Farmer, who served during the Gray administration. We're here this evening to unveil Jim's official mayoral portrait. It is a photo collage that includes hundreds of images edited together to create a portrait that tells the story of Jim Gray's vision for our city. After tonight's unveiling, Secretary Gray's portrait will be hung in the council chamber along with the portraits of all the other mayors since our merged government began operating in 1974. Jim's portrait is full of references to the progress our city made during the Gray administration and to the people who worked with him, including many of you here tonight. That makes this evening a time to come together, celebrate a milestone, celebrate a wonderful city, and many of the people who have worked so hard to make Lexington a great place to live. Let's start by hearing from former mayor and our current transportation secretary, Jim Gray. Welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayor. I'm so glad that you already recognize my dear friend and now the mayor of Louisville, Craig Greenberg, and my dear friend also who's driven all the way from Louisville, Steve Wilson. That was an applause line, y'all. Help me. The reason, and I'm going to come back to why it is really relevant and important that they're here today. Well, I will say that it has taken a little while, Mayor, because I confess that I didn't especially want to do this portrait. And early on, in fact, one artist fired me because I would not sit still long enough, and neither would my dog May Lake. We'll come back to that. I had decided that if a portrait was to be done, then it really needed to reflect all the work so many had done to get things done. Get it done was our theme. Create jobs, run government efficiently, and build a great American city. then the call to action, get it done. Fortunately, I was introduced to the UK artist Rob Southard by a friend, Alex Brooks, who was then curator at 21C Lexington, which was, I said I was going to mention this because everything that was done in our urban core, in our downtown, really the pivot point, what was pivotal, and the tipping point was the 21C project, and that was thanks to Craig Greenberg and Steve Wilson. So that, again, thank you guys.
Remember that?
Now, unlike that first artist, Rob stuck with me. I appreciate your patience, Rob. The biggest challenge was getting the right names on the spines of the book. Now, you all see this in a minute. So you'll need to actually look carefully. But there you will find names like Maureen Watson and Susan Straub on the same book spine. Maureen was and still is the control tower for the mayor's office. And Susan, there we go. And Susan was and still is the bullhorn for the city. That was applause line too. She told me it was okay to say that. And you'll also see names like Jeff Reed, who pretty much talked me into this line of work, into running for mayor, and walked along with me as a friend. And Mark Barnard, who became not just a great police chief, but an ally and a friend as well. And Sally Hamilton and Glenn Brown, who kept the gears of government going then and now, today. And Jamie Emmons, without whom none of the transformative projects actually would have materialized. You know, progress doesn't happen without vision and often controversy and tension. And that was certainly true for our time. The mayor is just a vessel for the work of its citizens. Thank you all again. And thank the citizens of Lexington for giving me the privilege of a lifetime to have served you. Thank you all.
Okay, good. Thank you so very much. And I did want to recognize one more person. You heard mentioned our CAO, Sally Hamilton. Where did you go? There you are. Yes, ma'am. You heard Secretary Gray mention Sally, and she is a phenomenal force. Before I bring UK photographer Professor Rob Southard up to the podium, I think we should unveil the portrait so that you can see it while he talks about the process, because it's really fascinating. So, Secretary Gray, will you help me?
Yes, ma'am.
Take a picture of this. Shazam. That's great.
And the most important person is May Lake.
That's right, dead center.
And the most important is May Lake, right?
Yeah, that's why May.
Yes, he's saying the most important in here is May Lake.
Dog bed.
Now, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Rob Southard, who did this beautiful work. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it in a little while, physically, but I want to thank Jim and Linda and the Bluegrass Community Foundation for supporting this project. And it's really exciting when, I've been doing my artwork by myself and teaching at University of Kentucky, and then Jim reaches out and says, hey, I like what you do. I'm thinking about doing my mayoral portrait. Can we find a way to make this work? And and this makes total sense to me because if you see the kind of work I make, which is very collage, there's hundreds of photographs to make this, that makes total sense. And it was really exciting because I'd like to collaborate. I see this as a collaboration. You know, he did 90% of the creativity. I'm doing the construction. And so everything you see here is made from not only his career. You'll see books, like names on the spines, on the books on the shelves. You'll see some of his favorite artists in the background. You'll see things that I digitally constructed to put in there that reference the home state of Kentucky. So Kentucky agate is actually the box on the stack of books, which I made from scans of Kentucky agate. The wallpaper is digitally constructed from the symbols of Kentucky, our state mammal, our state insect, our state bird. A lot of the art pieces on the wall, the plaques, they're artificially made from some of his achievements. So Photoshop and digital editing allows for such a thing. And something that's really exciting about this is that we have a political portrait that doesn't follow the conventions, that actually is really open-ended. You can make whatever you want. I'm really excited about the future for other artists to get the opportunity to make commissioned work like this. So if there are any politicians out there, mayors, governors, city council members that ever want their portraits, please look at your local artist, and they don't have to be your conventional oil painter, even though they're awesome. They can be any kind of artist. Whatever you love, it can be a piece. So I can jabber on and on about how the sausage is made, but I want to thank you all for coming here to highlight the career of Jim Gray.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Thank you very much. I think that people will need to get in close and look at all those books and check out the details. It is beautiful. Finally tonight, we're going to hear from Bill Farmer, former 5th District Council member, who's going to talk briefly about some of the accomplishments of the Gray administration. Bill?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I feel like the hors d'oeuvre tray you find at the end of the buffet beyond the dessert, and you go, why is this here? Mr. Secretary, Madam Mayor, Mr. Mayor, the majority interest of 21C is within these walls right now. 8 years working with this gentleman, and the change that he brought to Lexington, the change that he understood Lexington needed. He looks at us differently, that we are a city of great history, but we were trading on that history. We weren't living in the moment, and we weren't looking for tomorrow. The point of his administration was to bring people together, to gain consensus, and to make things happen. He talked about that. To get those things done, we had to reset a pension system that was woefully intact, unusable within our government. And we had to take care of insurance within the House. We had to do things inside the House to make things strong. And I say these as single sentences, but each one of them took thousands of hours, many meetings, and lots of decisions. With those things done, the opportunity to dream became huge. The ability to reset Rupp Arena and its entire surroundings. The ability to start a town branch park. There were so many tiger grants, there probably wasn't a tiger in the National Zoo when we got done, because we got so much money for what literally was partially yet begun again this past Tuesday, because the mayor understood in building the great American city, you got to get in there and build it. He, more than anyone else, has changed the way this city looks, the way it functions, and the pride that it takes in itself. The work that this great council and mayor continue now with affordable housing began in his term. He educated me to the difference between the homeless population, or the people that are homeless, understanding what those folks' needs are, helping them matriculate to a better life if they want some, or to help them in whatever plight they find they enjoy. And to do that with him and with those councils was great work. It still is. He would sit through meetings, he would listen. I can't number the many private kindnesses and acts of leadership he did. We all know the huge things that still go on in the wake of his leadership, and we're here to celebrate that today. He still remains the only person in the Commonwealth of Kentucky that does have a bridge for sale, or wants you to buy a bridge or build a bridge, because he still, just think, the little budgets we worked on here versus the money you're getting ready to spend, sir, what a great, great thing. We're all privileged to have your leadership here, your friendship for all of us, and now your leadership in Frankfort. The changes you have made there, the money you have saved, the people that you have enabled to get to a better situation, a better place, even just to get to work. You have done that, sir. One day we were up here in West Holbrook who worked in the mayor's office at the time, we're talking. He goes, you know, have you ever been over to the stores? There's kind of a closet for the city, and there's portraits over there. And I said, there's portraits over there? And I said, Mayor, there's portraits over there. We get in the car and go over there. And they're in the old Furrows building on Sales Road. All these portraits that are up here were all over there. And it was like an art show. He says, let's take this back, let's take it back, let's take it back. That was the beginning of this wonderful portrait that's here today. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for your personal commitment to our city, your personal commitment to public art and this art, and thank you, sir, for your friendship for so many of us.
Very nice. Thank you so much. So, anyway, congratulations. And thank you to everyone who came. We will take questions one-on-one, but first, we would like a picture with the speakers at your portrait, and then there may be a couple more people you'd like. Okay? So we're going to take this away.
No, melee's best.
No, melee.
Melee's best.
Speakers, artists.
Jump on the other side.
Just go ahead.
Okay, y'all, forgive me. The mayor let me get to the mic one more time. I just wanted to ask the members of the administration who are here, would you all come up, please? And we might as well let's do the council members that are here that were in our term as well. Would that work?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Fred was there.
Yeah, just, I see,
If you served with Mayor Gray, council members, come be in the photo. Administration. This. Now Melee gets to come in. Come on, Jake. Jake gets to be right.
Not over here, Fred.
Now you're going to
sit. Sit. And let her go.
Just let her know she
I know.
might somebody she wants
Here's
to.
James, Susan.